Hey guys, welcome back to yet another episode of Weledoy. I'm your host, Delitna Dawalko, and I have two amazing, incredible guests joining me via Zoom today. Welcome guys, how are you? If you guys could introduce yourself to the audience, I'll start with you, Louise.
Thank you so much for having me. My name is Louise. I'm a Chinese-Swedish fashion designer. In 2020, I founded Scandinavia's first rental-only non-sell couture brand. And also, my biggest passion is human rights. And for my debut fashion show, I dedicated the show for human rights and even viral worldwide. And that's how I get in touch with Maggie. And I'm super happy to get to know her and know also the TBR community. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining me, and welcome back, Maggie. We've been here before, but I couldn't be more excited to have you on again. If you could just briefly introduce yourself to the audience as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me again. And Louisine, I am so happy to see you. Like, hopefully one day you'll come to New York and, hang out. But yeah, hi, my name is Ma'arek Tarek. Also, people knows me as Maggie. I am from Tigray. I was born and raised there, and I came to America 10 years ago. I am a pharmacist and a model humanitarian. And yeah, I am the founder of My Shoes Your Shoes, a nonprofit organization that provides shoes to children in developing country. And that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, thank you. So we have a particular reason as to why I have both of you on here together, which I will eventually get to. But before I do, Louise, you have a talent for creating exquisite over-the-top couture dresses, and one of your passions is doing it a little different than your normal fashion designer-esque background. So if you could tell me when you found your love for passion, as well as when you knew that was your career path moving forward.
Yes, so I come from an artistic family, academic family. So my father was a painter, so I always been creative since I was a little kid. I always been painting, always been creative, like different things. And I found my passion for fashion when I was teenager, and it was, as girls, we try our styles with different kind of outfits and everything when we were a teenager. And I just love the fact that with fashion, you could tell someone who you are without saying a word. And so I started to develop a love for fashion, but I never liked the fact that this mass production that totally destroy our environment and the whole society surrounded around it as well. At a very early age, I saw the mental health issues that fashion industry calls for, especially young girls with the self-esteem. So I was always very hesitant to start another fashion brand that did things the way everybody used to do. And it was not till 2020 when the whole pandemic started, I just completely wanted to change career path and finally want to become a full-time fashion designer. And I discovered couture, which is more handcraft and art related fashion. So it was perfect combination for me to be able to be creative and work with fashion at the same time. And the process is also totally different. It's slow fashion instead of fast fashion. So it was just, I fell in love with it. And I always see myself as a storyteller. And when I discovered what was, it all started when I found out the news about the Uyghur genocide in China. And as a Chinese citizen myself, I felt it was my duty and responsibility to take action, and it was not a popular act as a designer to speak about it. And I came to a point where I felt like I have to do something, and everything else I tried didn't work. So it was like my last attempt to do what I could to raise the question, and I did that fashion show, and the rest is story.
rest was definitely history. That particular season and what you displayed it on the season 2022, spring season 2022. Could you tell us how you came to the decision of using such a platform to be the voice for the voiceless and protest?
Yeah, so actually, to be honest with you, it was a very, very personal journey. It all came as accident, so that's why I say that I'm a accidental
A
activist. I
self-proclaimed
never
accidental human rights
exactly.
activist. I
So
love that.
it was never my plans. It was never in my cards. So what happened was that the same time as I started a book brand, I discovered what's happening in Xinjiang. I reached out to some Uyghurs here in Sweden, and I developed a relationship with them. Like I get to know their culture. Such a beautiful culture, and I try, everything I could to, reach out to UN, to the immigration office in the government, and I tried everything like on a personal level, and nothing really helped. And what happened was that my personal life took a really just drastic turn when last summer I got into a divorce, and I got into bankruptcy with my company. My investor left, and I was there like broken hearted. Like it was like really, really at the lowest point in my life. And it was actually one night I remember that so strongly. I was sitting there in my new mini apartment. I lost everything. I felt loneliest person in the world, and I felt like, okay, what would happen if I die? No one will even miss me. What's the worst thing that can happen? And what that popped out in my mind was, I made a promise to the Uyghur community, and I felt my promise. I tried everything, and I couldn't do anything to help them. And I'm a person of my words, and I really, really wanted to do my best. So that was the idea. That's when the idea came up. I do still have my dresses. I do still have my fabrics and everything. I still have my creativity. So what I did was, normally it takes 300 hours to create one dress, so 10 hours every day for a month. What I did was I worked for 16 hours a day for more than a month and created 6 dresses and launched that fashion show on my own. And I reach out to my friends, and I'm very, very lucky to have amazing community of creative friends, from models and photographers and makeup artists. And many of them come from different places. And what I told them was like, look, I have nothing to offer you, but this is my idea. I really believe in this. Would you guys like to help me? And since they are also from different countries suffering different crises, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to use this to raise the voice I wanted to talk about, which is very related to me since I'm a Chinese citizen myself. And I also had a girl who was from Tigray and a girl from Palestine, and it just makes sense. Like we are all connected. We're just one human race, and there are just so many things going on in the world. I wanted to create a platform, a stage, and invite people to speak for themselves. And that's what I did. And that's the best decision I ever made.
I mean, I can
Wow.
see. Sorry to interrupt you, Maggie. Did you want to add something?
No, it's just like we've been talking with Lucine for so long. And when I first saw the picture on Vogue, I saw Instagram like this is I am literally dreaming, because I never seen an activist, like I never seen that much of activists, especially in the fashion industry, who speaks for humanity. So I gave up on that part. So seeing yours, it just gave me life. And when we start talking, you were genuinely caring and helping, and that made me literally fall in love with you and to be more inspired. I used to give up, like there is no hope with the fashion industry. It's not going to stand up, especially for African people. But seeing you doing that, and now hearing the background of it, because sorry I didn't ask the detail, but it made me like sad and happy and excited, as always, for you, the future in your hand. It's going to be amazing, and I'm so proud of you. I just want to say that. Yeah.
So proud of you too. So proud of you.
So much beauty can come from a place of resilience. So hearing the background stories definitely adds more beauty to it. And to be on a platform such as big as Vogue in the fashion world in itself is so huge. Your presentation, as you said, it started with the intent of advocating and showing the people in China the support and the awareness that they were lacking from the rest of the international community. But it didn't stop there. You had signs that said, "I stand with Afghanistan, I stand with Tigray," like Maggie just alluded to, which brings me to the next endeavor, this current viral marketing video that's been throughout all of social media, and hence why Maggie's also in this interview with us. She was one of the main voices on this marketing video. You started the video off with your beautiful message. Tell me a little bit about where the idea came about, what the process was to bring it to fruition, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, so after the fashion show, I was very lucky to get invited to huge events such this marketing event, which is the Nordic's biggest tech and marketing event, hosted by a marketing company who is one of the world's biggest. And the idea was in me for a long time. I wanted to use this opportunity to continue to raise voices. And like I said, I see myself, my role as a storyteller. I want to create a platform, a stage, and invite people to talk. And actually, a friend of mine works in the marketing industry, and she came forward and said to me during an exhibition and event that she was in a meeting for a marketing campaign, and they wanted to do a campaign for Ukraine. And after she's seen what I said during my earlier interview, during panel, during on the Spotify event that was a few weeks before that marketing event took place, when I was speaking about that, now we are no longer saying don't mix fashion and politics, and now we are seeing the whole fashion industry is giving amazing support to the Ukrainian people, which we are absolutely supposed to do. Let's do that with every other countries that also are suffering during war and genocide, because those people have been waiting for so long for us to respond and haven't been getting any help at all. So now we see the infrastructure, we see that the industry know how to respond and how to help. Let's do that for everybody, because we are one human race. Everybody needs to have equal support. And when she heard that, she shared this opinion with her marketing team, and they wanted to change their idea for the campaign. So I just thought like, wow, so what I said could affect one person. I will be sitting in a room with thousands of marketing people who all are in decision-making positions, and also huge company owners of big companies, not only marketing companies, but also sponsors that owns big malls and fashion houses and everything. So if I could reach another person's heart and hopefully get them to use their business to do good, that would be amazing. So what I did was that I reached out to Maggie, and she was absolutely amazing, and she just helped me with everything. Without you, that video wouldn't even be possible, you know. And the love I felt from all these people, especially from the Tigray community, I got the majority of the videos are from the Tigray community, and just I felt so much love. It's heartbreaking. At the same time, I saw so much hope to just see how you guys are fighting so much for your family and for the people. It just gave me so much hope for the future, because this is humanity, you know. That's the humanity at its best. And I do believe that everything in this world are created in pairs. If we don't understand what love is, we don't see evil, we don't know kindness, we don't see, you know, the opposite. So the Tigray community really like showed me how beautiful that opposite was, and it gave me even more strength to continue to do what I do. So thank you so much for showing that.
And we thank you for continuing to use such huge platforms to be the voice for the voiceless, because we could see the impact from it trickle down. Like you said, if you can convince a small business to do their part by such a what seems like a really simple video in itself is powerful.
So since this is a tech and marketing event, I was thinking I could try to impress you guys by making my own little marketing video. First of all, I wanted to find out what people want the most, and I got some help from all around the world.
My name is Magi Taraka. I am from Tigray, northern part of Ethiopia. My desire is to see my mom again.
Hi, my name is Mona Muhammad Ali, and I was originally born in Mogadishu, Somalia. And my dreams are to go back to my homeland and build a business safely one day.
Hi, my name is Sinai Kire, and I'm from Tigray. My biggest wish is for peace, love, justice, and harmony for the people of Tigray. Thank you so much.
My name is Kabir Kurban, and I believe in justice for Uyghurs. Free is Turkestan.
It's been 12 years now since the war started in Syria, a war that has fell off the media radar. All I can think and wish for is peace for my country, Syria.
I dream of peace for Palestine.
My name is Anna, and I'm from Ukraine. You know what's happening in my beautiful country. Right now, we wish peace. We wish freedom. It's the main thing for every human being.
Peace to the mothers and fathers in Tigray without their children. Peace to the children in Tigray and abroad without their parents. Peace to my own parents who are trapped in Tigray. May I see you again one day.
Peace for Taiwan.
I asked people from all around the world coming from countries that currently suffers from war and oppression what they wanted the most. It was not a surprise, but couture dresses was definitely not on the top of their wish list. Peace was. The tragic event in Ukraine was a wake-up call for all of us in the West. A refugee has nothing to do with our ethnicity or skin color, but just our luck to not be in the wrong place at the wrong time. So let's promote peace, make it the next worldwide best-selling product. After all, that's what the people really want, and our clients are the people.
There's individuals from across the world in this video, all walks of life, including yourself, Maggie. Could you tell me your side of creating this content and creating this video and how that became about?
Yeah, when Louisine reached out to me, as soon as she got the chance, I have an idea, I want to talk to you. Then we talked. As always, she inspired me. I felt like lucky to have someone not Tigrayan, not Black, and not even humanitarian as job, but a fashion designer, and trying to help us, my family. And I guess I just got emotional about it. And like, yeah, what's the idea? Then, I'm thinking like this, then we keep, she keep brainstorming in the middle, like, this is what I want, this would be great. And yeah, I reached out for the Tigrayan community, social media. Mahdi helped me a lot, reaching out all, send it, and we got the video. Or my part of the video was, I miss home. I miss my mom, and I miss, I want another world to know that there are people, millions of people. They never seen their mom for so long due to the war. And I just want to relate to those people like me who are suffering and not able to see their mom, not able to hear their mom's voice, not able even to know, they don't know even how their family are. So I want to make mine a little bit personal, relatable more. And I did that. And yeah, when I sent it to her, she loved it. Then, the rest is like the people, the Tigray community were so excited to share everything, the pictures, the videos. And I myself was very overwhelmed. And especially as soon as she was done, she called me and we talked, and she was saying like, people love it because Lucien is a very kind-hearted and very she just want to help, she just want to make a voice. And she was so nervous because she doesn't know how the people will react. majority of them weren't, came from Africa. They're just business-minded people. And I was praying for her. I was even nervous for her. And I cannot imagine what she's going through, how nervous she was. But when she called me the next morning, like, I did it. The people just got up and clapped, and everybody was like excited to hear the story. And she was so happy, and that made my entire day. And watching the video, I cried. I watched it many times until this day. I cried because it's just she made it like Tigray, there is Ukraine war going on, Tigray war going on. It's the same thing, but if like one happened to be in Africa, and people they don't talk about it. And seeing Tigray, in the media like that, it's just made me very emotional. And I feel blessed to have her. I feel like even the Ethiopia, the Tigray community, we feel blessed to have you. And yeah, I still feel emotional watching that video over and over again.
I could definitely relate to that. And your allyship is above and beyond. We've seen it time and time again, but most recently, the inaction that has been going on in Tigray in Africa for over a year now, but they were so quick to announce a genocide in Ukraine and announce the backing of support and against Russia for so quick. But what was the reaction from the summit when you first debuted the video? How would you say the crowd reacted to it?
They start crying. Like I on the spot, they were crying. Like, I mean, the reason why I so the lecture was 20 minutes. So I told my whole story, why I became an activist, where I went from a fashion designer, my whole journey, the one I'm telling you now. I was super nervous because like different audience have different reaction, and for me it's really, really important to I do believe that every person deep down inside, they have a good heart. Nobody wakes up one day and say, I want to do something bad. It's just how much we understand each other and how much we are able to open up our heart to each other to actually have a conversation and understand each other. So I started by opening up my own heart and telling my own stories and be vulnerable. And after that, I ended the whole lecture with this beautiful video everybody was helping me to create. And yeah, they were crying in the audience, and it was super emotion for everyone. And they came forward afterwards to me and tell me like how beautiful that was, how much it touched them. And a lot of them actually like were really like, they're saying, I want to go walk away from this to do some call to action. I want to do something. How can I use my company to actually do something to help? And that made me so happy to just having them say that they not only that they were touched, they actually want to do something about it, which is amazing. And also the company who hosted this event reached out to me afterwards saying like they loved the video so much, it touched them so much, so they decided to donate a sum to any organization or charity I choose, and that will go to the Tigray community, to Maggie's amazing organization. And yeah, so it's so we are not only seeing that people got touched, but actually some action that comes after that. And I really hope that can continue and actually inspire them to use business for good, not only this time but in continuously, like, because I do believe that we are in a change of time. Some customers have another mentality that they had before. We are so much more aware of what we want to put our money, and we want to support companies that actually do good. So I really hope that they take that from this video and messages and use their work to do good for the customers. And like I say in the video, our customer are the people. So if you really want to do good, you need to care for real and not for a show.
Absolutely. Compassion is one thing. Alluding and giving concern is another, but when you take it to the next further step and put action behind your words, it's extremely touching. What would you say the highlight or the pros have been from releasing this marketing content video?
I think it opened eyes for a lot of people. A lot of people didn't even know that there's a war going on in Tigray. Actually, a lot of people didn't know about it, and they were like, they were happy to learn about it. A lot of people got excited to open up their heart to be able to educate themselves more, which I find it absolutely amazing. And most of the reaction are just amazing. I got so much love from the Tigray community, and I want to send you guys all my appreciation and love. And we did it together, and I really want to say that like we really did this together. Without you guys, this video wouldn't even exist. And like remember that the reason why I shared my own story is to just to give a proof to tell everybody that no one is without a voice. We need to remember that everybody have a voice, and like we have no idea how magical this world is if we just step out of our own fears to figure out how much we can do, because I had no idea what that little fashion show could do. That was not in my cards, and I have this print screen on my phone that I always carry with me. It was a print screen of my bank account. It was I had $7 on my bank the day when I was on Vogue, when everybody congratulating me for my super successful career. I took that print screen to remind me and to everybody that no one can ever get to tell you you're too small to make an impact, and no one gets to say to you you need to be successful and very wealthy first before you help anybody, because that's just simply not true. And I'm a living proof of that. I didn't believe that. I really believe that it's something that you help someone when you have a million, or something when you help someone when you have nothing, because the best way to get is actually by giving. And I've been learning that from my own experiences. So really, like, no one is too small to make an impact, and we all are stronger than we think. And especially like when you're united, the way we have been doing with the video and with the show, like the reason why it went the way it went is it's because the message is so much bigger than me. It's not even about me, but about the people. And we need to remember that. Like that's the real power.
I couldn't have said it better. To receive blessings, you have to be a blessing in somebody's life first. So absolutely true. Maggie, what do you think the impact has been in the pros from releasing this video?
Yeah, the one thing that made this video very different was even though Louisine, they know she was making voice for our people, and they weren't thinking how big, like they weren't thinking, she will risk her business when there's a business meeting to talk about Tigray. Like, because most of the fashion industry people, they don't want to risk it. It's like most of them, they put business first. I know we saw, things are changing with the Ukraine war, but still there is so much to be done. And seeing the video, they were like, it made me cry. A lot of them, I just cried. Please say her thank you to Lucine. She's doing amazing. I feel hope that I will see my mom again. I'm hopeful that I will go back home again. It was very heartwarming. It was very beautiful message that I got. That was the one actually video I posted. I didn't get threats, hateful DMs. I didn't get like cursing words that I used to get from the genocide supporters. It was all love, which is by our community, and they were so proud to be part of it and so grateful. It was a good thing. It was a good post that I got from
I'm so glad you mentioned the hate that we're so used to receiving when all we're trying to do is just fight for our people. I do want to ask on the opposite end, were there any cons that you faced from any community after releasing this video? And this question is for the both of you as well.
I did get some messages, and both in DMs and also in the comments, that people saying that genocide doesn't exist. And what I've learned from early experience is that I don't reply to that at all. And because I find that super sad, and I just feel like I really hope that they did take that time to like re-educate themselves and to open up their heart to understand the situation. But I never ever answer hate with hate. never, because I don't believe that that works. So my response is always to the only way to get to the other side of this is actually with kindness and with love and with this message. So yeah, I did get some comments, not hateful comment, mostly just like a little bit hateful, saying that I don't know what I'm talking about and that this is something that's not going on, and yeah, stuff like that.
And you, Maggie?
I remember Lucy. One day I shared her. She posted, she talked about Tigray, and it was a little story. I shared it on my story, and my friends, they are now my friends, the genocide supporters. They actually went to send her. You don't know what you're talking about, because they saw her comments, or her post on my story, and the hateful message that has been going on for since the war started. I've been called many things. I've been like, I have this DM, the rape victim. I was talking about the rape victim. Somebody DM, I wish, that was you, being raped. I wish that was your mom. It's just, for me, to actually be able to see those DMs, I get angry, because I'm I'm one of the many that's from Instagram that they are dying, praying every day to see their mom again. And getting those kind of DM, this kind of hateful messages, was very. Sometimes I feel like, what? Let me just, tell them. Plus, be kind. But that didn't work for me. I was losing my mental health. Then I just, what?
Yeah.
Focus the good thing. They can say whatever they want. You know what's going on. If I'm not a voice for my mom, for my family, for Tigray people, no one will. So I don't want them to win. I want to win by not by not let them hate, by not let them win. I'm not gonna let them win. I will always fight. I will be a fighter. I will be a voice for my people. I'll be a humanitarian, as I should be.
Yes, and that will always have the outside noise trying to deter you from that ultimate goal as well. That's evident in all walks of life, especially when you're fighting a fight as great as a genocide. And ways of implementing real change in this world is by continuously and resiliently speaking your truth and speaking for those who don't have a voice. So with that being said, as we wrap up this conversation with you both, I want to know what's next for the both of you. Louise, how do you continue paving your way through this fashion industry while you remain solid in your humanitarianism as well?
Yeah, so what's going on was that after the fashion show, I've been super busy, been invited to all these lectures and talks, and I've been choosing to prioritize that first before everything else, because that's just such a huge urgency in that. Because if it's a genocide going on now, like every day that goes by, someone dies and someone losing their home and someone getting life, they're taken away. So there's just such a huge urgency in that. So I've been choosing to actually put my fashion part aside this year to focus 100% on the lectures, to be devoting my full time and energy on that, because I do a lot of education as well. Like I learn a lot about the situations, both when it comes to the genocide, when it comes to the human rights, and also when it comes to sustainability. How can I talk about things in a way to make people understand that everything is literally connected? Everything in this world is interconnected. It's impossible to talk about working on one thing without addressing the other. Right. So, and my last mission will be the European Parliament. I'm going to this summer, and after that, I will pick up the fashion side again. I want to start a foundation. So, it's super exciting time to be a designer and be an entrepreneur, because the world is changing, and we need to be in that change. And I want to create a business that's but those both is doing fashion, but also solving problem in the society, because what's going on with both the companies, that you earn a lot of money very fast, and then you do donations and charity, And I believe that we can do the opposite, like we do right things from the beginning instead. And that's what I want to do, create business that actually can, just like Maggie is doing. Like, I love her work so much. What you're doing, My Shoes, Your Shoes, it's just such a huge inspiration. I will love to like collaborate with you on that and just create an ecosystem really to be able to create beautiful dresses, create beautiful fashion, but do that at the same time. That's very hand in hand connected with the society and the issues in it. How we can collaborate and create ecosystem that is business for good.
Right.
So that's my next step.
And as you just mentioned, My Shoes, Your Shoes, Maggie, you're doing such incredible things. We've talked about it on this platform a few months back as well. What have you been up to lately, and what do you have coming moving forward as well?
Yeah, first I want to say, Lucy, thank you so much. That was, so nice to hear from you, and I'm very excited for the job, the work that we'll do together. And for those who doesn't know, my MSY Shoes, we provide shoes and school supplies to little girls, children in developing countries. As if now we are a little bit, we paused. Our focus right now is to collect donations to be ready when Tigray opens up, so we'll be able to help, because there is no school going on right now. All the children are at home, like majority of them, the school are being looted. And we have so many orphanage kids. So the plan is get ready with funding. Then when Tigray opens up, we'll be ready to give the shoes and school supplies. And we are also partnering with other organizations who can provide meals, clothes, and give a shelter for the orphanage, so we can work together to give the kids a better help for the future. And also right now we have an auction going on in April 29, a beautiful paint, coffee paint that was made, and we are auctioning that. That's a start of the many things that we are planning to do for fundraising. While I am there, I want to send a message, if that's okay with you. So the message that I want is that for the community to actually, be a voice for, whether you guys are Tigrayan, non-Tigrayan, American. There is a genocide. There is a humanitarian crisis going on in Tigray. Yes, we are African. Yes, we are Black. Yes, our lives, matters as any other bodies. So if you can help, please educate yourself first more. You can go to Omna Tigray. There is a ISAWIS Tigray website. You can learn more about it. Also, the most important thing is every state we have a representative. Reach out to them, tell them what's going on in Tigray, and ask them to take an action to send aid and support to Tigray right now, because there is no aid, there is no funding, there is nothing going on, like no electricity, majority of the time, no bank, no aid food going on, literally no. We want your help, to make a voice for our family to have a meal to eat, because the humanitarian people are actually saying in a couple months, if this continues, half of the Tigrayan people might end up, dead because of famine. That's something I don't want to hear, because my family are there, my mom is there, and that's something like every Tigrayan don't want to hear that, because our family life depends on that. So please be a voice, reach out to your representative and tell them to take action, not just to talk, but take action, the same action that they are doing with Ukraine. I thank them for that. Thank you for doing that, but we also need action in Tigray.
Thank you for that message. Very eloquently put as well. As this fight for diversity, sustainability, and just human rights equality amongst all continues, I want to ask both of you for a lasting message for an audience member, especially the youth, that might see this video and might want to contribute to making this world a better place, but just doesn't know how, or might have fear, or is reluctant to start on their own activism or humanitarian journey. What is an advice that you guys could give them, he or she?
I would say, like, if you want to change your world, first change yourself. Like, become the best version of yourself and use what you do, your work, your business, your passion to serve, because that's like, at least that's what I did when I tried to find my own path in this life, to find my own career path. And what I want to do with my life is to asking the right question, like how can I use what I do to serve? And that, because that give you a strong purpose to keep you going on and continue. And like Viktor Frankl, who is a Holocaust survivor, he said the life is not made unbearable by the circumstances, but by lack of hope and purpose. And I really do believe that as long as we have hope, we have love, we have a very strong will, we will be able to do anything. And I really believe in that. Like, become the best version of yourself. Like, remove all the fear and believe that there's a greater power. There's something bigger than us. And if we just do our best, everything will work out in the end. It can be the smallest things. You can be the best teacher. You can be the best bus driver. You can give someone from a minority group a job. Like, everything. You don't need to. Everybody's role is now go out there to do activism. You can do activism in your everyday life with everything you do, and just pick your own fight. I believe is the message.
I like that. I really like that. My message will be just a little example. I came from a small village, like literally small village. I went to school mostly with no shoes. It was my dream to help. How can I help the girls? I was being bullied for not having shoes. So I don't want to see that. I don't want a little girl, especially a girl that want to change her life, to actually see her with no shoes and to get bullied. That's one thing that I'm trying to avoid, and one of the many reasons that I actually created the nonprofit. So what I'm trying to say is, no matter where you came from, you can make it happen if you have a goal. If you want to make a voice, if you want to stand up for humanity, stand up. If you want to speak about what's happening, if you want to teach, teach. Because first, you only live once in this earth, and our life have purpose. Like, we came to this earth with a purpose. We came to serve. So find out how I can serve, how I can use the power that I have to help people and to change others' life. If it's not I know we cannot change the whole world, but I will do my part. Same as everybody, do your part. The more everybody do their part, the more the world will become a better person. But we have this on my head. Okay, I'm a little person. Like, I cannot do anything. I cannot change anybody's life right now. No. I was this little girl, but I am trying. I know I cannot change it, but I am trying to change someone's life, to serve and to help people. So that's what I want to, especially my Tigrayan women. I know, we came from different community, completely different, but we have a voice and we are strong women, and we can do whatever, we want to do. So believe in yourself, stand for what you believe, and the rest will be a story.
I love that. Thank you guys so much. Also, that quote was incredible. A little hope can take you so far in life, and all we're all doing is trying our best at the end of the day. And that's all we really can do, and you'd be surprised the impact that will garner for you in your own life's path, let alone on another. Again, thank you guys so much for this conversation. It was incredible to have you both. It was incredible to meet you, Louise, and have you back, Maggie. And I can't wait to see what you both in your individual rights get into, but even more once you guys collaborate. I know that is going to be something worth waiting for and worth seeing, so I can't wait for that. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed another episode of Weledoy. To my audience tuned in, we'll have more for you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Louisine, we want to take this chance, the whole Tigrayan community, we want to thank you. I know you are not praised enough, since I know you.
No, I don't need any praise.
So much. We thank you so much. I keep getting so many DMs thank you. We thank you so much.
We did it together. We did it together.
And, and I love you dearly a lot.
I love you more.
I wait for all to or what we will do in the future. Darling, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
so much.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.